All right, let's get cooking. First, I'm going to take you through our chickpea kale salad. In this salad, we're going to have some lovely kale, which grows plentiful in many gardens. We're also going to have some garbanzo beans for some nice protein. And then I'm going to show you a bell pepper today. It's not officially in the recipe, but it goes really well. And then you can always add a little Parmesan cheese into this recipe as well. So let's go ahead and show you some knife skills on these ingredients. Let's start with the kale. So to cut this nice curly kale, I'm going to go ahead and pull out the stem. The stem is edible, but it's a little bit tougher to chew, so sometimes for flavor and texture I like to go ahead and pull it out. You could also cut it out if you'd like, but I think with the kids in the garden it's nice to give them something tactile that they can do with their hands. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off the leaves. And then again, the kids could either tear this with their own hands, or if you want to show them a little bit of knife skills, you're welcome to. The kale, because it's a little bit of a tougher green, we can either cook it to make it a little more tender, or we can cut it up pretty small and then put it in some acid, which is going to be our vinaigrette in this case. So I've piled it up, and I'm just going to come through and do what we call a chiffonade. So I'm just cutting it into nice thin strips. Garden shears would be another great way to cut up this kale as well, that the kids could easily do. When you are cutting, always make sure to keep your hand as a bear claw, so you want those fingers curled, versus if you let them come straight, then they can easily get under your knife. I'm going to go ahead and put this kale into my bowl. Now I've gone ahead and cut up a lot of other kale prior to that. I just wanted to show you those last few pieces, so you can see I've got a nice bowl of kale right here. I drained and rinsed the garbanzo beans ahead of time. When you drain and rinse the canned items, you reduce the sodium by 40%. We also don't need all that additional liquid in our salad. So I'm going to go ahead and add these garbanzo beans into our salad here. And then just as a bonus, I wanted to show you how we like to teach our students to cut the bell pepper. However, this is just for you. This isn't one of our knife skills classes, so this is a way you can cut the bell pepper faster. So again, bear claw. I'm going to go ahead and take off the top of the bell pepper, turn it, take off the bottom. We'll move those to the side. And then I'm just going to barely cut a slit here, so just through one layer of the bell pepper. And then we're going to go ahead and roll out the red carpet. So you can see I'm just cutting out the stem. This is the only bit that we won't use, and that can go into compost. It could go into feeding the worms. I'm going to go ahead and cut this, and so that's my plank. I'm going to now cut it into some slices here, and then after we slice it, we're going to go ahead and dice it. One of my favorite things to do with the bell pepper as well, if you're talking about ripeness with your students, is have them taste the green bell pepper and then the red bell pepper. Same plant, just the green bell pepper is an underripe fruit of the pepper plant, and the red bell pepper is a fully ripe fruit. So we see that sweetness come out as the pepper begins to ripen. So I'll go ahead and cut this. You could also stop here if you're making a little platter for hummus or guacamole and then use these as dippers. But for the salad, again, we're just going to go ahead and cut it into a dice. So I've got a microplane here. You could, and I'm going to grate my Parmesan cheese. However, you could purchase it pre-grated already in the store, or you could grate it on any other type of grater that you have. The nice thing about the cheese, what it does is sometimes the kale can be a little intimidating for the kids to get used to, and cheese is generally a fan favorite. So by pairing something familiar with something new for the students, you can improve their likeliness that they're going to be willing to give this food a shot. So I'm just going to go ahead and grate a little Parmesan cheese. You don't want to go totally crazy since cheese isn't the leanest source of protein, but it does add a nice saltiness to the dish, and again, increases the familiarity the students will have with this dish. So I've gone ahead and put in my Parmesan cheese. We'll set that to the side. In this jar, I've got a little bit of vinaigrette. So all I've done is for this one, I did a little red wine vinegar with some olive oil, and then we shake it up. And I have a dressing. You could also do it with lemon juice and olive oil, but I like to go for about a 50-50 ratio because I want that high acid content to break down the kale a little bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and lightly dress the salad. You can always add more dressing. You can't take dressing away. So it's important that you start with a little and then slowly increase as you need to. Now I'm just going to work this a little bit. I know some people have asked about massaged kale salads to really work the acid into the kale. It's a great option. However, when we cook with kids, we try and limit the number of hands that are going into our food, so I prefer to do the work with the tongs. But there you have our chickpea kale salad.